A few years ago, my husband, Chris, went morel mushroom hunting, which we do in Iowa. You out in the woods. He brought home this big bowl of morel mushrooms, and we put them in our refrigerator. And we were enjoying them, having sauteed and in different dishes for days. Now, I don't know if you've ever smelled rotting morel mushrooms, but after several days, I opened the refrigerator door, and boom, the stench just came into my face. Now, what I could have done is instead of getting out the mushrooms, I could have got some air freshener, opened up the refrigerator door, and went, shh, close the door. Would that have solved my problem with my morel mushrooms? Of course not. I had to identify what's in the fridge causing the stink and get rid of it. Well, I'm coming back to this story in a moment. But I'm talking about self-awareness. Self-awareness is to know yourself, to understand who you are, to know what makes you tick. It means to understand what type of work tasks motivate you and really pump you up and you get excited about. It means to know what type of people bring out the best in you. It means to understand when you have some time to rejuvenate, what is it that truly will rejuvenate you. It also means to know what type of people drain you. What type of people push your buttons, and you know that. What type of work task will leave you exhausted. And to recognize your emotions when you're having them. Brenda and Greaves tell us that only 36% of us, about a third of this room, can actually identify what emotion we're having at the time we're having it. To be able to say, I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling guilty. Only 36% of us have that self-awareness. Which brings me back to my rotting mushrooms. Like I said, I could have opened that refrigerator door, opened it, taken some air freshener, and went, shh, close the door. But it would have been a temporary fix. I think we're often that way in our emotions when we lack self-awareness. We're sitting at our desk, we're feeling a little grumpy today, a little wonky, and rather than really thinking through what's bothering me, what's going on, we say, you know what? I think I'll do a little temporary fix. Oh, I know I can do some online shopping over the noon hour. That'll feel good. Oh, there's chocolate cake in the break room. That feels good. Oh, wine after work. That always helps a bad day get better. Or, you know what? This coal has been bothering me at work this whole time. I'm going to go chew his butt just to make me feel good today. Rather than actually saying, when you're feeling wonky, saying, okay, let me get rid of this problem. Oh, I know what it is. I'm actually feeling guilty. I talked to my sister this morning, and I was a little harsh. I probably should call her back and apologize. And then you get at the root of where the stink is coming from and actually remove it, rather than getting the temporary fix. Why is self-esteem important, or self-awareness important in our life? Knowing who you are will lead to better relationships. You're going to have better career and life choices because you will genuinely have an understanding of what charges my battery and what things to avoid, what type of people to avoid. And you'll just have a better overall sense of peace, happiness, and well-being. So I want to give you 2 strategies for becoming more self-aware. The first one is the 60-second emotion check. I would encourage you over the next week to stop 2 or 3 times a day at random points and just pause and say, what am I feeling right now? What emotion am I feeling? And try to identify it. If you can't, think what's going on around me right now, or think back, where have my thoughts been? And try to get what you're feeling and where it's coming from. The more you do this, I promise, your self-awareness will heighten of what energizes you and what drains you. Do that over the week. This one's a little more extensive, but still easy. I created this several years ago. What you do is you put on a piece of paper 2 boxes, one that says best self, one that says worst self. In the best self box, you just jot down, what are some times recently when I was really at my best? Man, I was on my personality at the A game at the holiday party. I was loving, I was kind, I was humorous, I was all that. These are best self times for me. Then you go to the worst self box, and you say, what are some times when I was just embarrassed about who I was? I was at my worst. Then you look at these 2 boxes and say, what do these best self things have in common? What seems to be the common factors? What are the type of people, events, and situations that bring out the best in me? And what are the type of people, events, and situations that bring out the worst in me? Every time I've done this, I've always had aha moments. Looking at my worst self and saying, oh my gosh, I'm choosing to spend time with this person who brings out the worst in me. Or times when I wasn't sure my next career path, to say, you know what, I'm at my best when I'm helping people be at their best. Maybe that's the route I should take. So I encourage you to do that. Let me wrap up by sharing a brief quote. Next time you have a stench in your life or you feel a little wonky, rather than doing the temporary fix, try to identify that stench. As self-awareness increases, people's satisfaction in life, defined as their ability to reach their goals at home and work, skyrockets. Self-awareness is so important for job performance that 83% of people high in self-awareness are top performers, and only 2% of bottom performers are high in self-awareness. Why is this? When you're self-aware, you're far more likely to pursue the right opportunities, put your strengths to work, and perhaps, most importantly, keep your emotions from holding you back. So next time you smell that little, I smell something at work, try to identify where it's coming from and remove it in your life. Thank you very much.